Okay, so today we are going to start out by making a grid. You're going to need two different kinds of rulers. You're probably going to need them at different times during the project. The first thing you're going to need is this ruler. It has a nice backing so that it doesn't slip, a non-slip backing. You're going to slide it right up to the edge, just like this. This is about 1/2 inch to 1 inch from the edge. And then you're going to make a mark. You're lined up with the edges of the paper, okay? Make sure that they are lined up, they're not off like that, because that'll mess you up. So make sure they are lined up with the edges of the paper. I'm only leaving, maybe I'm leaving like a 1/4 inch there. So now I'm going to make a mark at the 1 inch mark, at the 2 inch mark, the 3 inch mark, 4, and all the way down. And I'm going right off the paper. I'm going right to the edge of the paper. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. If you don't have 17 marks, you did something wrong. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my paper the other way. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Write my name. So on the bottom front of the paper, you are going to write your first name, your last name, and your class. I'm going to put 4Z, or I'm sorry, 3. It's not 4th grade, it's 3rd grade. 3Z. Oh, there is a 3Z. Or there was a 3Z. In commemoration, I'm going to put 3Z. Okay, so now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to change the paper to this way, and I'm going to do the same thing, except this doesn't line up perfectly with the paper because this side is...
Senor Bay, please contact the main office. Senor Bay.
This side is only 12 inches. So I'm going to line this up with the 0, which is right at the edge, and then it should be lined up with the 12 over here, because it should be 12 inches going across. So I'm going to put a line at the 1, line at the 2, line at the 3, line at the 4, line at the 5, and so forth and so on until I'm at the very end of the paper. 11 is my last little tick mark because 12 I don't have to do, it's right on the edge. Okay, so now I'm going to put it like this. Now I'm going to set this ruler aside. I'm going to get this. This is called a T ruler, and it makes your life a lot easier. Let me show you how. So the T ruler, you can just slide along the edge like this, and it gives a line that is perpendicular to the edge. Perpendicular to the edge, okay? So I'm going to slide this over until I line it up with my first tick mark going this way. So I'm lining it. If I'm moving it across this side of the paper, this is the side of the paper that I'm concerned with. I'm moving it across this side of the paper. That's the side that I'm most concerned with. So I want to make sure my T is lined up. I'm putting it right next to that first line, and I'm holding this very tightly, and I'm going to draw that first line going across. Like that. Okay, one thing that I didn't do was draw a circle. I need to draw, how many circles should I draw? I should draw, here's one, just using the pencil case that's on every table. I'm gonna draw, I want one that's bigger, so let me go find one that's bigger. Okay, I found these other 2 circles that I can trace. I'm going to make sure that this is nice and clean before you put it upside down. I'm going to go ahead and trace, maybe I'm going to trace it right here. You don't want anything touching the edge. You don't want anything touching another circle that you've already traced. So I'm going to go ahead and trace that, put that aside, and I'm going to go ahead and trace this, and then put this aside. Okay, so now I have 3 circles. Now I can continue with my grid. Okay, so I'm going to line it up with the next little tick mark right there, next little tally. Now, when you do a line and it goes through a circle, you're not going through the circle. So I'm going to do this line starting right here. I'm going to stop at the circle and then pick it back up again down here and draw it to the end. I'm going to do the same thing again. let me do this in fast motion so that you can get it. Okay, I just wanted to go back to the regular video for this part. For the last couple of lines that I'm doing on here. Notice how I've slid this down here the whole time. This has hooked on here the entire time that I've been working on it. So now I'm sliding onto one of the last ones. I'm going down. I'm not going through my name, so I'm leaving it right above my name. And I'm going to do the last one. I think this is the last one. I'm not sure. I think it is though. And I'm not going through my name or class, and that is the last one. So if you did it correctly, these all look to be about the same size. I don't know why I didn't carry on right here, so I'm just going to fix that. Okay, so these should all be about the same size. Now you're going to turn it the other way, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to hook that on there, move it to the first line, and you're going to go down to where you can go. Notice this stops because this is 18 inches across and this ruler is only 12 inches. So I'm just going to go to where I can go. I'm not going to guesstimate the rest because that's where you get in trouble. This, I'm not going through the circle. I'm going to where I can go. Just the 12 inches down. Okay. Not going through the circle. Going to skip that part. And I will put it on fast motion for this. Okay, so I'm on my last little tick mark right here. If you probably couldn't see it, but this is a lot harder to keep steady on this smaller area than on the other side. So I had to keep on repositioning my T-square so that I knew that I had a perpendicular line, that the paper was lined up with the T. And then I go down, go around the circle, and go down here. So now I have a paper like this. This is 12 inches, and I have to get this last part right over here. It's easiest to do that with this ruler right here. I'm going to go ahead and line that up. So I'm lining this up with this first, so if you see, I'm lining it up with this first line that I did on this side. So I'm going to go ahead, line that up again, and follow that until I get to the circle, follow it after the circle. Now I'm going to line it up with the next line. I'm making sure it's nice and lined up. This part and this part are all lined up. If you don't do that, your line is going to be totally off. And it's important that it's totally on. It's totally in line. Okay, after you get all of this done, you need to get it checked by me. If you want to get it checked by me earlier, that is fine. I will be at a rolly desk at the front of the classroom so that people can form a line and not crowd each other. But you have to get it checked because if you don't have this part, the rest of the project will not be done correctly. And the rest of the project is really cool when we get done. It's called Op Art, and it's awesome. We're going to look at it with 3D glasses, all of this stuff. That's a little off, but it's not off enough that I would have to do it again. I must not have lined it up very well. Got to make sure I'm lining these things up. Do you see how this is skinnier between here than it was over here? Just a little bit off. Not enough that I would make you redo it, or that I would redo it. Okay, so then I am done. Got to get it checked. And then the next part we will be doing inside the circles. So, if we are on the next day and we're doing inside these circles, You have to figure out which two lines, I'm going to do this circle first. You have to figure out which two lines are the most inside. And I think are the most in the middle, really. So I think these two lines, this line and this line and this line are the most inside. Now it's best if you have some sort of ruler or some kind of tool to tell you, okay, it starts here and it ends here, because you don't want to get mixed up. Some people get mixed up and they think it starts here and ends here. That's going to mess you up. This is the straight line. If you can't tell that, get a ruler, line it up so you know where that straight line was, okay? Where it started, where it ended on the circle. So now that I know this and this both line up, I'm going to go from here, and since it's mostly on the left side of the circle, I am going to slightly curve it to the left. It's going to start here, it's going to end here, but it's going to be slightly curved to the left. If you think about like a tennis ball that's coming through the net really quickly and it just wants to get through the net, it pushes the strings aside. So same thing with this one. It starts here, it ends here. I am going to start the line here, I'm going to end the line here, and I'm going to have it slightly curved to the right because this line is slightly to the right of middle. So it's slightly curved to the right and it ends here. Okay, so that tennis ball is splooging those strings apart because it wants to get through. This one starts here, ends here. Make sure you always know where it starts and always know where it ends. And it's on the left side, so it's going to curve to the left. Like that. I could have even had it curved more, but it's okay. This is barely there. I'm just going to put a straight line right there because it's barely even touching the net. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. This line starts here, it ends here. So I'm going to keep my finger there so I'm aware of where it is, and I'm going to curve it to the right because it's on the right side. Okay? Then this line barely touches the net, so it's pretty much straight. Like that. Okay. I'm going to go to this one, do the same thing. So this one, I think this one is in the middle, but on the left a little bit. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to end here. I'm going to curve it to the left. I'm going to start here. I'm going to end here. I'm going to curve it to the left. I'm going to start here, I'm going to end here, I'm going to curve it to the left. Okay, so same thing on this side. Now what some people do is, I'll show you. First, I'm going to do this one correctly. Starts here, ends here. It's on the right side, so I'm going to curve it to the right. It looks better if your curve is bigger, just saying. What some people do though is they start here, but then they accidentally end it on a line that's going the wrong direction. We're not doing the lines that are going horizontally, we're doing the lines that are going vertically. It has to start here, end here, or start here, end here, doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go back here, connect that, and I'm going to erase that little line that's wrong, that went to this line instead. So that's a common mistake that happens. If you think you made that mistake, bring it to me. Or if you know how to fix it, then go ahead, fix it. If you don't, then bring it to me. I will help you out. So this starts here. This is this line. Starts here, ends here, curve to the right. And that's the last one on that side. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing over here. This is on the left side, this is on the right side. You might get one that's right directly in the middle. You can't tell if it's on the left or right. If that happens, you decide. Okay, you decide if it goes to the right, you decide if it goes to the left. So I'm putting my pencil on this one. I know it ends on this one. So I like having my finger there so I know where I am going. So this one starts here. I'm putting my finger right here. I have my finger on it so I know where I am going. Very good. I have my pencil on that one, my finger on this one. It's going to go to the right because it's on the right side. Then I have my pencil on that one, my finger on that one. It's going to go to the right, like so. Okay, now, We have half of the net. We have the vertical lines done. We have to do the horizontal lines. What I like to do is to turn my paper, because my hand likes to naturally go like this when I'm drawing. So I'm going to turn my paper to make it easier for my hand. So this is on the right side. I'm going to start here, end here. I have my finger there so I know where I'm going. Curve to the right because it's on the right side. Start there, end here. Curve to the right because it's on the right side. Start here, end here. Curve to the right because it's on the right side. I mean, curve to the left, sorry. Start here, end here. Curve very gently to the left. It's going to be right against the actual line of the circle. Okay, so then do you see how that's shaping up to look three-dimensional? It doesn't just look like a flat circle, it looks three-dimensional now, like it's trying to break through. Okay, gonna do the same thing over here. This is pretty much in the middle, directly in the middle. I get to decide where it goes. So I think it's gonna go to the right and end there. This is also gonna go to the right, of course, and end there. This is gonna start here, end here. This is gonna start here, end here. It's gonna go right against where that circle is. Perfect. Okay, this is on the left, so it's gonna go to the left. This is on the left, it's gonna go to the left. Start here, end here. This is on the left, it's gonna go right next to the line of the circle. Okay, that one's done. Now this one, this is on the left, so it's gonna start there, end here. I'm gonna go to the left, curve to the left. Starts here, ends here, curve to the left. Starts here, ends here, curve to the left. At this point I would probably sharpen my pencil a little bit or hold it straight up and down because I've been holding it on its side. Start here, end here, curve to the right. Start here, end here, curve to the right. And then this just has a straight line. I'm going to do a straight line going across because there has to be something there. You'll see why. Okay, so then I am done with the grid in the background. I'm done with the grid in the circles. Next, we are going to be using markers. You're going to pick one marker color. So think of the one color that you want to pick for next time. Oh my goodness, I did this whole part thinking I was recording and I was not. So I'm turning the paper upside down and I'm redoing. So let me just figure something out. Okay, so I have this piece of free draw paper right here underneath my paper so that I can go outside of the lines if I need to. So I am going to be doing a checkerboard pattern. So this is the first one I want to do. So I am going to do the outline of this. And then I'm going to go ahead with the broad side of my marker and fill that in. It actually doesn't take that much time at all to do it that way. And I'll show you how a lot of people do it when they think they're going faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline again like this, so it's nice and neat, good craftsmanship. And then what people do is they hold theirs like a pencil instead of having it on its side and using the broad side of the marker. They hold it like a pencil and they go like this. And they're like, oh, this marker is so thin, it's going to take forever. And they think they're going super fast because their marker is going super fast, but it's actually taking more time than having done it this way. And I have to go back and I have to get all these little spaces that I miss because I'm not doing it in a good craftsmanship way. So now this is a solid orange. This is also a solid orange. This is better craftsmanship because the lines are uniform. The color is uniform. Over here, the color is not uniform. What does that mean? Anybody know what that means? When the color, this color is not uniform, this color is uniform. It doesn't mean neat. it means, if you said it means there are different kinds of orange in there, you are correct. So there's a really dark orange right here, there's a really light orange right here, there's a super light orange right here, because I had to go over different spaces a lot of times to get it to be a solid orange. So this is what we're going for, this is what we're not going for. Both of them will do the trick, but this is better craftsmanship. It will get you a better grade, okay? So now I'm going to skip this space. This remains white. I'm going to go to this space and outline. You always want to outline first because it helps you from making mistakes. It helps you from going into the other box. So now I'm using the broad side of my marker to fill that in. It's filled in. Done. So now I'm going to this one right here. I'm going to first do the outside. I don't want to go in the circle. So I did that on the outside. I'm using this just to, in case I go off the page, I don't mark up the table. And I'm using the broad side of my marker to fill it in. Done. I think that was like 5 strokes and it was done. Okay, so I'm going to this one. I'm going to use the broad side of my marker. Now I'm going to use the skinny part of my marker so I don't get it in that circle. And here I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I have to go back for 1. Okay, I'm going to go over here. Remember to skip one in between. We are doing a checkerboard pattern, so you have to skip one in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now I want to move this down so that I don't mark up the table. Going over here. Very quickly. Now I don't want to go over my name, so I'm going around my name and class. And I want to skip this one right here. I'm going to go around my name and class again. So I'm only doing this part. Okay. So now that I'm doing a checkerboard pattern, I want to do the one on the corner of this. It just touches the corner of the color that you're using. So I'm going to go around here, do my outline first on the outer perimeter, and then fill it in. Easy peasy. Then I'm skipping one that stays white, going on the corner. Filling in, easy peasy. Going on the corner, skipping that white one so I maintain my checkerboard. If you are, you don't know which ones to skip, bring it to me. I will mark them, which ones you have to have that color, and you can have a guide. So this, I'm just doing that little sliver of a square. I'm not going inside my circle. Now, since that's orange, you would think that needs to be white and then that's color, but that would put it right next to that one. We don't want to do that. You never know across the whole circle how many squares were in that circle. So you have to always go off of something else that was done on the corner. You have to do it on the corner so that you know you are correct. You could mess up your whole paper. Or if you don't know, if you're going through a circle and you don't know what color that's going to be, bring it to me. I will help you out. I will guide you through that. So it has to be a checkerboard. It has to be off the corner. If you mess up and you realize it right away, we can fix it. If you mess up and you go through half your paper and you realize it doesn't make a checkerboard with the other half your paper, that can be a problem. Oh, I didn't do the outside perimeter, and this is a lot messier. So I'm gonna go back. Okay, so this one, oh, I don't have my paper, so I wanna make sure my paper's on the edge so I don't mess up the table. Okay, and you are going to be doing that one color throughout the whole background, not doing the circles. Don't worry about the circles. We will work on that next time. Okay, so that is it for today. Good luck. Have fun.